Hey guys, it's me, Junghyuk. And this is a video for the second week class of the Career Design 2 for Asia Business Intensive Studies students. I was personally wondering if you guys are still okay in your house with some appropriate social distancing each other, which is really important in this situation. And this pandemic situation is very rare. I have never experienced this situation before, so we are in very special situation. And I think the health of you guys and health of our community is the most important thing now. So we're gonna keep updated with the decision making by the school HQ, which announced that this social distancing situation will go on until April 6th. And the university's targeted date to face-to-face class back to the normal situation is the April 6th, but I'm not sure if we can do with the recent pandemic situation getting worse in worldwide. Um, and I was also worried about your country situation. The South Korea is one of the better country with the better situation right now because of medical system or some social system was proved pretty okay relative to the other advanced countries like the United States or Italy or Spain. Those countries are getting really serious situation right now. And I'm also worried about your countries. I hope all of your family members and the friends there are okay. And if you have any emergent situation, if you heard any emergent news from your country, please let us know. Let me know or tell Professor Justin Hiraga or Mrs. Trey in our department. Then we can just try to find out anything we can help you. Okay, so the only thing we can do right now is just study by ourselves. You cannot go to school, you cannot go to library, so you should study in your house. You cannot meet your friends right now, so just staying there and studying hard by yourself with the connected internet service is the only thing we can do. I know the quality of education with this methodology is pretty poor. I totally understand that, but this is the only way we can do right now. So do your best in the given situation, which is the better solution for the better student. Okay. Today I'm gonna give you the short lecture about career design with my own example. I think and I believe knowing yourself is the first step to find out the better job. And I believe knowing yourself is really important step to sell yourself to the company where you really want to go. So, no, I'm not the best person in this country or in this world, but I'm a little bit older than you guys, and I think I found my better job, or I can call the Chungnan National University is one of my dream jobs. So I'm pretty happy with my job right now. So I can tell you how I completed my own way to get a kind of dream job, which can help you to prepare for your own targeting a dream job, which is the first step for getting hired. Okay. So, simply we have two topics to talk about today. The first, we'll discuss about why knowing yourself is important for preparing for your job placement. And the second, I can tell you my own case, how I could find out the better job than my friends. Um, I was not a good student in my college period. I was just like a B plus guy. You know, I was not able to get the A plus in the all courses. There was always the better student than me. I was not a poor student, but I think I was just average student in high school or in my college life. But right now, I am a professor at the Chunam National University, which is one of the nine flagship national universities in South Korea, which has pretty good reputation in research and teaching. And this job position of the professor at this university is honestly is the best one among all of my friends from my college. So, I was not a bad student, but I got the best job out of the department of my college. So you will be wondering how I could accomplish this part. So I will tell you about that. There is some kinds of noise because this is my apartment and now I'm living with the six people. Crazy, six people in very small apartment. Recently, my wife gave birth to twins, so we became four from two, me and my wife, and my mother-in-law, my wife, came to the apartment to help my wife to recover from the birth. So we became five, and there are two kinds of helper to have to clean up the houses or to raise the babies, which was the government kinds of have or government um, social security system. So yeah, so we can pay them very little money, but we can get help from the two great women to help us to start our baby raising situation. So we have become seven from five. So right now I'm living with six other guys in a small apartment. Crazy. So a little bit noise. Sorry about that. But anyway, back to the lecture. So everyone wants to get the better job. You know, honestly speaking, we know there is some better job and there is some worse job in terms of payment, in terms of happiness, in terms of the quality of the job environment or something. So um, we know there is some ranking of jobs in our real world. So this is reality. So to get a better job, I think it is really important to sell yourself or advertise yourself. Um, some people has great potential or great ability to work, but they are real poor at selling themselves. Then ultimately they will lose their job or they lose some competition in the job market. So to sell yourself better than the other guys, it is really important to know who you are. Okay, so knowing who you are is very simple sentence, but in my situation, it was really hard. It was really hard to understand exactly who I am and exactly what I can do better than the other guys and what kinds of weakness I had, which will reduce the possibility to get a better job. So because in the age of 20 or 22, we are very busy, drinking a lot or dating with your girlfriend or boyfriend and studying for your classes or working for a part-timer. So we are really busy. So it is really kinds of paradoxical things. that since we are very busy, it is really hard to get inside our mind, get a little bit more time to look at our inside. But um, to prepare for your job market, look at yourself is really important step. So, I would urge you guys to make some spare time and sit down or close your eyes and look at yourself and what is your strengths and what is your weakness in the point of view of recruiter, not a point of view of yourself. If you are the company CEO to interview with you, then what will do they love in your part? What do they hate in your life? You can just think about it. You know your strengths and your weakness. Some people already know about it. But if you think about the point of view of your recruiter, then your strengths and weakness could be a little bit different. And knowing your strengths and weakness correctly is really important to set up the right your dream job. Dream job means not the best job in the world. What do you think about the best job in the world? I don't know. Maybe the president of the United States, the Donald Trump things. I don't know. Or maybe the billionaire like the Bill Gates or Jeff Bezos of Amazon.com. They can get the more money than any others, but I don't know. So there are some kinds of the best jobs or best person in the world, but it is not the same with your dream job. Your dream job should be based on your interest and your potential and your ability, and also the demand from the other side, demand from that dream job part. For instance, if you really want to go to Samsung Electronics in South Korea, so get any position in Samsung Electronics is your best dream job, then you can think about what kinds of people are liked by the Samsung CEOs or Samsung recruiters. That's really important to prepare for your resume. One of your homework is writing down your own resume, and resume is really short history of your life. And if I were your recruiter, scheduled to meet with you guys in the interview, then I will read definitely your resume, and uh, maybe about 70 or 80% of my mind is already determined even before meeting you guys in the interview place, which means that writing good resume will give you the better chance to get hired and get the better paid. And writing good resume is totally based on your kinds of factful strengths or weakness. And to find your strengths and weakness requires understanding who you are. Okay, so just go back to the first step. Knowing yourself is really important for getting a better job. So it is really important to make it clear which value is more important for you guys. Some people love money. I think that is reasonable. I love money. I love definitely money. So I want to get paid more than now. And some people love spending your time with the family is the most important thing. For now, I'm kind of person like that. So I work less and I spend more time with my family because I believe this is really critical time to spend more time with my family. Some people love some spare time after working. So many Korean students are type of person like that. They want to get a job even with less payment. But if they have enough time to do their hobbies or to date with their girlfriend or boyfriend, then they will definitely take their job. And some people love to get the reputation, get a fame, like some celebrities or some sports stars or something like that. They want some reputation, so they try to get that one hard. So you can just make your own packing order. Which one is more important than the others? Then you can be more clear. Then okay, so I want more money, for instance. Then so I will look for some kinds of job positions with the better money payment, which will be close to your dream job. And also you can list up your strengths and the weakness, and you can find out the job position which love your strengths and which don't care about your weakness. Okay, so if some company really critically thinking about your weakness, which will be kind of long shot for you. I mean, you have slim chance to get that one. So it is kind of intersection between your side and from the side of your dream job. Okay, so their demands and your supply will meet in one market, and your kinds of demand side and their supply side will meet in the other market. So if those two intersections are completely met in specific situation, then you can get the job. So no, getting your dream job could be hard. It could take a long time. For me, it took more than 10 years after graduation of my college. I graduated my college in 2008, and I was offered from the Chungnam National University in 2018. So that was exactly 10 years span of my life that I tried to real hard to get a professor position at pretty good university in South Korea. So take it easy and take your time. It may be 10 years, it may be just 1 year. I don't know. It's up to you. So if you set up the right targeting job, and if you spend enough time to understand who yourself and what is your strengths and weakness, then you're gonna get the better start point. And this is the starting point situation discussion. Okay. So now I will tell you about my own story. I know many of you guys are not interested in me, so this will be a little bit more boring. But for some students, it may be useful because I'm not the great person. I'm not super smart person to be a professor whenever I want or something like that. I was just normal student, um, and I was not enough smart like you guys. I had a lot of troubles in my college and in my graduate school life, and I failed so many times. Um, but I kept working. I kept targeting job. I kept believing myself, so I could get a position from this school. Okay, so it may be a little bit encouragement because some of you guys already starting thinking about, oh, I'm not going to get pretty good job because I'm not a good student. My GPA is pretty low, or Chungnam National University is not a great school, so I will not get a good job. I'm not a good person. You can think like that, but I believe you still have enough chance to improve yourself, to upgrade yourself, to get the better job. Okay. So, I was born in South Korea, Seoul. So I was born and raised in Seoul for more than 25 years. So it is safe to um, tell you guys that I'm Seoul Light person. I'm just Seoul native. My father was a professor of the Department of History, so I was really fortunate to see the world of the university, what the professors are doing and what the college students are doing. I saw the types of life when I was 9 or when I was 13 or 13 years old or something. So, looking at the university a little bit early age of my life was, I don't know, it was pretty much helpful for sure. But and I was not a good student in very early life, like in my elementary school. You know, I was not a good student. No, I was not a good athletic player. I'm not a good artistic guy, and my studying level is just middle of the class. But I love reading a book because the reading a book did not require any specific skills. If I read the character of South Korean, then I could read any book. Also, I love writing something because writing did not require any specific skill or any special skills. So, like a normal guys, I love reading and writing, and I kept doing that. That's a certain point. And also, taking exam was not funny. I hate taking exam, but I knew there was a kind of reward if I did pretty well in the exams. I studied hard, then I got the better reward from the school or from the parent or from the friends. So that was one of the motivation that I studied hard until the high school. But after entering the college, I was still struggling. In any courses I took, I was not a top student. I choose my major as economics just for coincidence. My father was historian, so I wanted to study history, but my father didn't like that idea. So I changed my mind to majoring in economics because we thought, my father and I thought, majoring in economics would give me a better chance to get any job in the job market rather than the history. So I chose my major as economics, but I did not have any good instinct about the economics because economics requires a lot of mathematics, but I was really weak at the economics. So I was not a good student in the economics. After 2 years, I was fortunate to go to the Australia as an exchange student and studying there for just 2 months. And that 2 months changed my life because I was so happy studying with that guys with totally different types of education. They love discussion, they love creative thinking, they love reading and writing, not memorizing everything like Korean universities. So I was culturally shocked because they study differently, but their academic accomplishment were better than any other South Korean students. So after coming back to South Korea, I told my parents that I really wanted to study more after graduation, and I would like to study abroad rather than in the South Korean university because I was sick of the style of education in the South Korean university. So I started preparing for application for some American or the British universities, but it was not that easy because as a Korean, getting into the American graduate school was harder than getting in some really good South Korean companies like Hyundai or Samsung. The acceptance rate of top schools in economics in the United States was very, very low, less than 5% of something. So I applied more than 20 universities, but there was only one university who offered me with the scholarships. So there was any other choice, but only that school. So I decided to fly out to the state of Colorado, which I did not know even where the state is in the map of the United States. Getting that one offer was enough for me though, because that preparation period, 1.5 years, that was really hard. I worked over midnight, so I slept maybe 3 hours or 4 hours a day, because I had to get the better GPA. So I took many difficult courses, like some mathematics courses to improve my mathematics skills, and I also took some early graduate courses in my college to strengthen my resume. So the courses difficulties are really hard, but I also at the same time I also had to take my English exam to get the better score in English. So studying English and studying in my major and the mathematics and finding out some information about some schools or some department all together. So I worked hard, and it was really hard. It was really hard, but just getting through that time. Then I got just one offer out of the 20 applications. But that preparation year was easier than actual graduate school life in the University of Colorado, 6 years. I was really happy during that 6 years because I met one of my best friends ever there, and I met great professors there. They taught me a lot of valuable things, and I could improve my economic skills of understanding hugely during the 6 years. So as a researcher, I was happy, but as a normal person, it was really hard because language barrier and cultural barrier and the financial difficulties all together came to me, and homesick situation was also happened. So if I were having a chance to go back to that 6 years, I would never go back to that years because it was so tough and so hard. The hardest thing in that my graduate school life was the uncertainty. My friends just got some job and got paid after graduation. Sometimes I go sometimes I went back to South Korea during the 6 years and met some friends, and they seem rich because they got paid. I also got paid from the university, but just $2,000 or something, while my friend got paid about you know $4,000 a month or $5,000 a month. So you know I was really poor student, but they are rich, and even I had no anticipation on my future because I was a student without any guarantee after graduation, and my friends working, getting paid a lot, dating with their girlfriends. So it was really stressful to see them happy in South Korea while I struggled in the United States without any bright future. But anyway, I was successful in defense my thesis, so I could graduate and got my PhD degree. So I was personally offered from the financial supervisory service in Seoul, which is the government sector company. And I worked there for 3 years, and I moved to the National Assembly of South Korea, and I worked there the 4 years. Oh, sorry, worked there for 1 year. So over the 4 years in the government sector working, those two companies were really good. They are just dream job of many South Korean students. Good highest level of payment, working condition is great, and social position is even greater. So if I tell anyone that, I'm working for the National Assembly, or I'm working for the financial supervisory service, then everyone looking at a very high level of person in the South Korea. So that was good. So I was drinking a lot. I spent money a lot in buying some luxury goods, or dating girlfriend things or something. So just fabulous life for those 4 years. But at some point, at some point, I felt that was not right. That was not the right direction of my life. So I started thinking about it, and I finally found an answer at the age of 34, that working for that this type of government sector was not my dream job. That was a good job, and that was the dream job of others, but that was not my dream job. My dream job was like kinds of job position that I could read a lot of books, and I have my own choice of freedom to write down anything I want. So spread out my ideas and share my ideas with the other person. That types of job would be a professor at pretty good university. I saw that. So I started working again. To be a professor, you need several things to prove yourself to the university where you really want to get in. The first and the most important, good research ability, which can be proved by your research publication history. You can publish research papers in good journal, and you can stack up that history, then you're gonna get the better reputation from others. Then you can get the better chance to be reviewed by the good university. So this is competition between the researcher and the researcher, and you're gonna have to keep studying until you die. That's pretty tough, but if you love studying, then it will be definitely a dream job, because you can just study what you like, then the university will give you some payment. Pretty good deal, right? And any other some of the other skills like teaching skills or interview skills, or you can also get pretty good recommendation letters from your advisors. These types of documentation will be submitted to the university, and they will evaluate your document, and they will give you a chance to interview with them. Then this is time of you to sell yourself in the interview section. In my case, I was weak in the publication history, but I was confident in my younger age. I was 35 years old when I was interviewed, which was relatively very younger than the other competitors, the other applicants. So I sold my age to the committee members. Like, okay, so I don't have great publication history at this point, but I'm younger than the others. So if you hire me, then I will study hard, and I will show you my good publication in future years. You can just bet me rather than bet on the other guys like this. So I try to maximize my potential, minimize my weakness, because I believe my potential can cancel out my weak research publication history. So I don't know my strategy was working with committee members, but the result was I was hired by the university, so I started working here 3 years ago. The result is I'm happy. I'm really, really happy with working here. Mm, I have my own office, so I can do whatever I want in my office. Usually, I just read a book or meeting students or writing something. Nothing special things, but having your own office is really important because you can relieve your mind, so and you can improve your working efficiency in your office. Also, I can have more free time, which means that my working time can be flexible. So if my family members need me, then I can go to them to help them, and I can work late in my house. It doesn't matter because reading a book or writing a paper can be done in my office or in my house, wherever I want. And my colleagues, the other professors in the department, they are great. They are super great persons. So I have no problem with the relationship with others. So overall, I'm very happy here. And maybe I could get the better university job, but I think this is enough for me. If you if you say this is enough, which means that it could be your dream job. I moved to the other job. I changed my job position twice, sorry, third times in the last 5 years, which means that I was seeking for the better position. But the one thing you should remember is there is always trade-off between your choices. For instance, the salary level was highest in the financial supervisor service, and going to the university like this, you should bear a little less payment. But the money was not the biggest factor in my decision making, so I was really happy to that type of trade-off. Getting less paid, but doing whatever I want more was my trade-off, and I was happy to get that trade-off. So, this is my situation. So you can just think about your own case, and this is time to start thinking about yourself. You're gonna have enough time to finish up your resume. I will give you a specific timeline to do your homework, but this at this point you don't have to worry about your homework right now. You can just think about who you are, and you can just think about which type of person you're gonna be after 10 years or something. Okay? Right, so this is it. I'm gonna give you another video in the next week. Okay? See you guys later.